Mangal Pandey, Rani Lakshmibai, Tatya Tope. When we think about the first war of Indian independence of 1857, these are the names that come to mind. Janaab Pir Ali Khan. His isn't a name that appears on the horizon, right? But it should. By the 1850s, the air in India was thick with unrest. The British had systematically insulted long-standing Indian tradition, disrespected our religion, erased our rights, and broken the backs of several livelihoods. The breaking point came in 1857 that led to soldiers gathering arms for the cause in Meerut, the flames of independence rapidly spreading across the country. In the dusty bylanes of Patna was the meagre establishment of a bookbinder by the name of Janaab Pir Ali Khan. In this tiny shop, among stitched pages and scrolls, a common man was scripting a crucial part of the first chapter of India's rise against the oppression of the British. Quiet, humble, seemingly harmless, Janaab Pir would become a key figure in the underground resistance against British rule. His shop would become a secret hub where revolutionaries met. Farmers, artisans, clerks, students, fakirs. Revolutionary pamphlets were printed. Coded messages to rebel leaders were delivered. Arms and gunpowder were supplied to freedom fighters, where the blueprint of the First War was taking shape. Even as he was binding pages of books in the day, by night he was attempting to unbind the chains of our nation. On the 3rd of July 1857, Janaab Pir and his brethren were ready to strike. Over 36 men positioned, weapons gathered quietly. They attacked British officers and soldiers explosively, swiftly, precisely. The city erupted. For a passing glimmer, as the British reeled, it felt like victory. People's cheers filled the streets of Patna, dense with hope. But the empire was not done yet. They tightened their grip on the city, cracking down brutally. They found one name, whispered in every circle, someone who had been whispering the idea of freedom into the ears of the townsfolk. Janaab Pir Ali Khan. He was arrested, savagely tortured, and pressured into giving up the names of his associates. He would receive mercy in exchange for that information. He refused to betray them. Not a single name, not a single word. He could have saved his life by betraying others, but he chose death with dignity over life with shame. On the 7th of July 1857, Janaab Pir Ali Khan was marched to the town square and in front of a terrified audience, without trial, publicly executed by hanging. There were no final words, no last-minute surrender, just a rope and a man who smiled. Because he knew that his blood would one day blossom into freedom. His life ended, but a legend began. The British thought that they were ending a rebellion, that his death would serve as a warning. Instead, it became a symbol of resistance, and he became one of India's first martyrs, launching our nascent freedom struggle. So when we speak of India's freedom, we shouldn't start at 1947. We should start in 1857 and start with this legend, Janaab Pir Ali Khan. His story is not in textbooks. There are no films to his name, but the soil of our land bears his memory, and so should we.